Hey, how's it going, you swell individuals? On today's Cracked Genshin tier list, Halloween edition, we're gonna be putting the Genshin characters in a zombie apocalypse, the remastered edition. So to the OGs who realize, we already did this like 7 months ago. This time, it's gonna be a little different. So, all of the Genshin characters are gonna have their little thriving community, if you will, in a zombie apocalypse-like setting. So picture like, I don't know, the Attack on Titan wall. Yeah, like that, just the bootleg edition, a lot shorter, the wall is made out of wood, that kind of thing. All the Genshin characters are gonna live inside said wall and are gonna try to survive together. So real quick, we'll go through the tiers. We have the leaders of the settlement, the council, if you will. So since all the nations are gonna be living together, maybe like a 1 or 2 from each nation, like that kind of thing, we'll make this like the 10, yeah. Yes, the almighty 10. That's... I don't know, it sounds like we're making Akatsuki members or something, but it's fine. Then we have the resource gatherers, the scouts. I'll actually put that as well. These are the folks who leave the comfort of their shelter to get food and medical supplies, or just scout out nearby areas. Then we have the guards the front wall, the lookout. So maybe they're on like tall towers watching for zombies, so they're prepared. Then we have the cavalry. Basically everyone who's whooping that zombie ass. Yeah, they're gonna be on the front lines in case of an invasion. Then we have village supply managers. So if you guys have ever played The Walking Dead, like the Telltale games, in these communities, there's always like a supply station where everything is distributed. That's gonna be the people who are in charge of that. Then we have engineers and mechanics, self-explanatory. Medical specialist, very important. Now we have the interesting one. I'm not sure how this is gonna work yet. We have the lone survivors, the ones who leave the group, maybe in like a smaller group, or they go by themselves. We'll figure it out. Then we have provides moral support, because you always need a smile, even in a zombie apocalypse, yes. Then we got sacrifices themselves. I am expecting this tier to be so full by the end of the video, bro. And finally, we have gets mauled to death in brutal fashion. So without further ado, let's get into the tier list. So first up, we have Mr. Aether. I believe we made Lumine the Abyss sibling last time, so he is gonna be the Abyss sibling. And actually, I feel like the sibling has a bit of an advantage, yeah, because they're more of in like a leadership kind of role. They're leading the Abyss attack on basically just humanity, so that's a nice, pleasant thing, yeah. The only issue is, I'm not sure if he would cooperate with other leaders, because he's like the prince. He stands above everyone else. So I'm gonna say he probably just kind of leaves and becomes a lone survivor. Yeah, he'll recruit people in the wild who will follow his specific cause, but he will not unite with the Archons, the Genshin community, yes. So wait, let's do Lumine as well, just the Traveler. So since she isn't really in a leading position, like we're not in a government status right now, we're basically just homeless. I'm gonna say she's probably just the resource gatherer. Yeah, she's probably really close with the leaders of the settlement, but her main objective is to just go from place to place and get that good stuff. Yeah, with her assistant, wait, should Paimon get mauled to death? Ooh, wait a sec, she can fly. Yeah, wait, that's perfect for like scouting out nearby towns. She can just hover overhead. Ooh, Paimon being useful in a scenario, I like to see it. In recent memory, Paimon is just getting better and better. It's a really nice thing. The only slight issue might be like a character snapping, because the apocalypse is a really stressful scenario. So maybe someone's done with Paimon's BS. Like Dea, yeah, wait.
Whose side are you on here? Shut it, Paimon.
I wonder if she'd just snap and break Paimon's neck one day. I'm gonna say she doesn't do that just because Paimon is useful in this scenario, but if she was being a mooch, yeah, no, Dea would kill her. Speaking of Dea, bro, 100% the cavalry. I could kind of see her sacrificing herself for the children. Yeah, because it's not just the Genshin characters in the village. There's gonna be a bunch of NPCs, that kind of thing. So what if a zombie gets into like the school in the community? Code red, zombie in the hallway. So Dea comes to defend, maybe gets bit. But I'm gonna say probably not, because she does have a lot of combat experience, and she would probably have some help, because it's in the village, not on the outside. So yeah, nah. She'll be the cavalry, she'll be fine. Albedo, 100%. He is an engineering man. I know alchemy is basically just magic engineering, but it's fine. He's gonna do his thing. Debatably, you can even put him on like the Almighty 10, the Council of the Settlements. But he definitely strikes me as more of a passive, helpful role. Like, I don't think he's gonna be in charge of other people. He's just gonna be really useful to everyone else, though, yeah. Actually, him and Kave, wait, where's Kave? Yeah, they'd be in charge of, like, making buildings, that kind of thing. Like, maybe right when they're building the community, they set up the wall. Kave's in charge of, like, the construction, the zombie apocalypse construction company. And Albedo's probably helping out with, like, the blueprints, setting everything up. Yeah, they're gonna be, like, the two-man army, and they carry their weight throughout the apocalypse. Yeah, debatably, Kave might get mauled by a zombie or sacrifice himself for the animals. No, we're gonna leave him here. It'd be kind of funny to just see Al-Haitham push him into a zombie, just whoopsie. He'll be fine though, we're just kind of making shit up. Now, speaking of Al-Haitham, I think someone's gonna offer him like a position in the Almighty 10, like the leaders of the village, but he's gonna be like, hell nah, that's too much work. Like, the man wants to live his comfortable life, even in a zombie apocalypse. Wait, with that in mind, would he leave the village? Because I feel like that is a lot of work to kind of set up his own thing. Like, if he does leave, he has to make his own little area to get comfortable, to be safe. I don't know if he'd want to put in that much effort to do that. But then again, it is for survival. Yeah. He's gonna be the lone survivor. In this scenario, there's so many people in the village. I don't think Al-Haitham's gonna like it that much. Then we got our girl Aloy, who I know nothing about, but I do know she's a mechanical dinosaur hunter chick. Whatever her game's about, I still haven't played it. But I think she is gonna be a resource gatherer. She'll be out in the wild hunting things. Maybe she tries to make zombies edible. I wonder if the heat will purify the zombie components, yes. But nah, I do think she's a little smarter than that. Next up, we have Amber, 100%, also a scout, the scavenger. I do definitely see her also sacrificing herself. Yeah, okay. She is gonna be the first sacrifice of the video, and it's kind of funny because she's the first character we meet in-game, aside from Paimon. Oh! Okay, wait, maybe she's training Kale, or no. They're both knowledgeable enough, but they're gonna be out on a scouting adventure together, and maybe they get ambushed by like some running zombies, and Kale's not as fast on her feet as Amber, so Amber's like, Kale, you keep running, don't look back. And she's like, no, Amber. Wait, there has to be someone who drags Kale away. Yeah, because she is not voluntarily leaving Amber. Okay, wait, who else? Yeah? I could see this. Eula's gonna be forcibly dragging Kale away, but it is gonna be even harder on Eula. She's not gonna be looking at Kale, just dragging her, so she doesn't realize that Eula's also crying her eyes out, and Amber just smiles at Eula one last time. Oh, wait. Why am I making this a tragedy? I don't know. I kind of have a thing for tragedy. It's beautiful. But yes, Amber's gonna die. Eula and Kale will be very sad for a while. Kale's gonna have to put on her big girl pants and take charge of what Amber left behind. So yeah, she is gonna be a resource gatherer. Honestly, Eula, I could see being a guard to the front wall. No. The cavalry, yes. Because even the scouts do need some cavalry, so that's why she was probably with Amber. But her and Dea fighting side by side in the apocalypse, dude, that's so much mommy energy, it's beautiful. And I could definitely see them being drinking buddies. Bro, in the apocalypse, even people who say they don't want to drink, they're gonna drink just for the effect. It's happening. Then we have Ito, bro. After that last tragedy, yeah, he's probably gonna die as well. I feel like he's gonna wanna have like the coolest job. Like he's gonna wanna be on the cavalry team, but once he experiences like a zombie horde firsthand, he kind of starts to shit himself. And Eula and Dea are like, come on, bro, we're the Great Sword Squad. We have to protect the people. And he's like, I can't do this anymore. And Dea's like, dude, don't run that way. And Ito's like, huh? And then he gets mauled to death by zombies. No. Honestly, I kind of feel bad because his energy in an apocalypse, if he does manage to keep it, it would be such good moral support. But I definitely see him just getting careless in a scenario. Like he does have that strength, but he might not be the most aware of his surroundings. So yeah. Now, he is gonna get mauled to death. Shinobu's gonna be very, maybe not very, just mildly sad because that is her boy, even though she always has to scold that ass. But yeah, it's gonna be a tragedy indeed. Shinobu is interesting because she has a lot of fields of expertise. Like no matter what she does, I think she would be in cahoots with the leaders of the settlement. Like she'd be very reliable. I'm kind of debating between resource gatherer and medical specialist because she has so many things she's knowledgeable in. I don't know if medical studies is part of that, but I'm gonna say she is because she's also a healer, so even if she doesn't have that much knowledge in the medical field, I think she'll learn. Like the Christian, Barbara is gonna give her the ropes and how to take care of people in the apocalypse. And she definitely seems like a fast learner in this kind of environment, yeah. Now, as for Barbara, she's kind of tricky because I'm wondering if she'd just have like a stroke and die one day. We'll say no. She'll probably cry herself to sleep quite often, but she has been through some shit already, so we're gonna say she's fine. And her and Shinobu become besties in the little clinic they have in the village, yeah, me likey. Also, I feel like some people would purposely injure themselves just to see Barbara in the clinic because her smile in the zombie apocalypse is probably the most heartwarming thing imaginable. It's kind of awesome. Okay, now Baiju. He is probably, debatably, the most important character. If there is one person who is gonna find a cure for the virus, I think it's gonna be him. So he can use Chi-Chi as like a first case to finding the virus. He might need to experiment on her, but in like a humane way. Like he'll take blood samples, that kind of thing. So he is definitely gonna be a medical specialist, but since he's this important, I think he's gonna be on the almighty 10, yes. And if he dies, bro, this entire settlement is gonna get depressed because he is their savior. Okay, perfect. No, he's above everyone. Mind you, I think he's gonna let the Council of 10 make the choices for the settlement, but he's gonna be priority number one for protection, yes. Next we got Beto. Bro, she's gonna love busting heads. I don't think she's gonna sacrifice herself either, no. Ooh. Wait, since she's the boat captain and is used to going to different areas, do you think they'd have like a boating expedition. Yeah, so maybe they have like Kaveh and Albedo make some ships so people like Beto can go out and help with resource collecting. Although it does kind of depend if the settlement is close to water. So I think they'd only make like 1 or 2 boats and not the biggest things. They have to be able to carry them certain amount of distances, but I think it's gonna work out. Ooh, wait, where's Kazuzu? Yes, her son has to go with her. Wait, where is he? We need to make the Beto expedition squad. So her, Kazuzu, I'm debating on Mika, but he's the land surveyor, not the ocean surveyor. So maybe Skara? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say Skara goes with this squad just so he can get away from as many people as possible. And Nahida is gonna make sure he never leaves the village because he's probably constantly like, I don't need you people, I'm a puppet. You think these zombies gonna affect me? Nahida's like, come on, you're gonna miss all your friends because he has Kazuzu over here and they're gonna be the boys in their little weird way. But yeah, so we're gonna make a tier here. We're making so many. The Beto Expedition Squad. So she'll be the captain. Skara can survey from the sky to see ahead in the water, like how far it goes, to check current and stuff. Yeah. And then Kazuzu is just gonna be playing songs on the deck, listening by ear to the sound of the waves. Bro, the Animo boys. Okay, let's get one more Animo boy. Wait. Heizo, yeah. He's a very smart and well planned out dude that I feel like he's gonna discuss with Beto before they even go on the trip, like the route they have to take. Yes, detours might happen, but that's why Skara and Kazuzu are here. So they will definitely leave the camp, but at least they're with good company. I think they'd all get along. Heizo and Kazuzu aren't gonna have a choice but to be friends. Skara might get a little annoyed with Beto because of how loud she is. But no, he is not abandoning ship. Nahida prohibits it. And no matter how much of a tsundere he is, he's not going against his savior over here. So speaking of Nahida, I do think she is going to be a leader of the settlement. And that's not specifically because she's an Archon. I'm fairly doubtful all of the Archons are going up here. But it's just because she's so insanely smart. She is one with the forest, and in the apocalypse, usually you're surrounded by trees and stuff. So I feel like she's gonna know beforehand where a good place to set up like the settlement would be. So she's kind of integral. Everyone loves Nahida. It's gonna be a nice time. But yeah, Colossal Nature Nahida as the first member of the council. Next up, we have Benny. This is really tricky to picture because the thing with his bad luck, right, is that it seems to affect the people around him more than himself, which is kind of a problem in a zombie apocalypse. No! So there are 2 routes I can see this going because he is a really good dude. I think he might sacrifice himself during an expedition. Like maybe he'd be going out because he is a part of the Adventurers Guild and he'd save someone like, Fischl. Yes, wait, he would protect her, get bitten. It'd be some Romeo and Juliet stuff, although I don't think Fischl's gonna off herself. But the other route I have, and I think is more likely, is that Benny is actually just gonna leave the settlement by himself to protect everyone else. Yeah, because he has a better chance on his own, because he has a bit of the survival experience, and he'd be good at collecting his own resources, knowing where to spend the night, all on his lonesome. Yeah, bro, him in an apocalypse is so scary. I feel bad for the man. But yes, he shall be there. As for Fischl, even though she's heartbroken that her mans has left, she is going to be a nice mix of moral support and would also scavenge for stuff because the Adventurers Guild members do know what they're doing. And honestly, I'd kind of want to be friends with Fischl in an apocalypse. Surprisingly, yes, because I feel like she'd lighten the mood while also being very capable in certain scenarios. It's just a matter of if the persona would fade because of how stressful the scenario is. Like, would Fischl just become Amy after the apocalypse starts, after Benny abandons ship? I don't know, but we are gonna leave her there. Yeah. Next up, Candace. Nah, there is so much self-sacrifice vibes with this chick. Yeah. Ooh, wait. Maybe that's why Dea has such a personal vendetta against the zombies. Because maybe one day, as they were setting up, like, the settlement, building the walls, getting everything together, a horde of zombies approaches, and Candace takes the charge. She gets bit, but still fights for like a good 10 minutes afterwards, killing as many zombies as she can. And Dea's like, good job, Candace. And she just looks at her bestie, holds her arm out. Dea's like, no, this can't be. She's like, Dea, you know what you have to do. And she reluctantly has to kill her best friend. Tragedy number 2 has happened in the apocalypse. But yeah, she would sacrifice herself. She would let everyone know she's bit and hold off as many as she can before actually turning, and then Dea would kill her. A very sad day. Ooh, wait, maybe they'd have like a statue built in her honor afterwards. Yes. Then we got the boy Chung Yun. I want to do the Liyue prodigies together because they're just such a nice squad. I just realized Albedo and Kave are here. Whoopsie! So we got Hu Tao, Chung Yun, Jing Cho, and Zhang Ling. Now I feel like Hu Tao would just thrive in the apocalypse. Ooh, and this is the excuse she needs to finally rid the world of Chi-Chi. But here's the thing, I don't think she's gonna be able to do it because Chi-Chi is an integral part of Savior Baiju's plan to get a cure for the virus. So she's like, damn it, why is she so important? I could have finally done what God intended. She could definitely be the moral support, because she has such a nice, like, carefree attitude that I can't even see changing in the apocalypse. Like, everyone's stressed, all quiet. Hu Tao's like, come on, guys, what's wrong? Get a smile on that face. We're all gonna die eventually. Which actually, that might terrify people even more. So I'm gonna say she's actually, might be a hot take here, part of the cavalry. Because I feel like she's gonna want to send as many zombies to the afterlife as possible, especially since she can't do that with Chi-Chi. Yeah, Dea and Eula are gonna be like, miss, are you sure you want to be on the front lines with us? She's like, don't worry about me. She starts laughing psychotically as she's impaling zombie after zombie, trying to figure out how they work. The staff of Homa covered in blood. Dea's like, damn, that bitch crazy. But she's effective, so it's kind of working out. So yeah, she's gonna be there. As for the other members, Zhang Ling is gonna be part of the village supply chain. She is the chef, gonna be making meals for everybody. I'm sure she'd also have like little tasks as well, helping out with the quality of life. As for the 2 boys, I'm not sure if the zombies would run away from Chung Yun. That's kind of tricky because of his yin and yang energy shtick. I'm gonna say they probably don't because they're not really evil spirits. They're just the undead. So I think it's kind of a different shtick. So with that in mind, I am gonna just put him on the cavalry squad. Yeah. Ooh, wait, I want to put him with Aunt Shenhe. Where is she? Bro, she's gonna be on the front lines. If a zombie even gets close to her nephew, she's gonna take off that rope, go on a killing spree. Hu Tao's in the background just clapping her hands like, yes, kill them, bitch! I love how Eula and Dea have just become the most normal members of this team. It's kind of perfect because all the other ones have something crazy going on for them. But then there's Chung Yun. He's a wholesome kid too, but he's gonna be on the cavalry for his strong sense of justice. Yeah. And finally, we have Jing Cho, who I could also see being in the cavalry, also for his strong sense of justice. Yeah. Although he's definitely on the smarter side of things, like I'm sure he'd help out with the village management, kind of getting things together for the big boys like Nahida up here. But maybe he'd have like a bit of a rivalry with Chungyun as well. Like they see who can kill the most zombies. Yeah, because the more you kill, the more you save. So if you look at it like that, I'm sure he'd be super down. I'm gonna leave him here. He's kind of a tricky one because he can go in a lot of tiers. And then I did not forget Chi-Chi. She is also getting her own tier. This is gonna be the last one I add. We have added too many, guys. Yes, experiment number 1, the zombie loli. Her blood is the key to getting a serum to fight the virus. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be scared of Chi-Chi in the apocalypse, but then there's gonna be the nice folks. Like Nahida would always visit her little house, bring her snacks, make sure her morale is up to standard. Because she's not gonna be able to leave the village. I'm sure she'd be under like surveillance for the most part because of how important she is. But at least she got Baizu, Nahida, Yao Yao, yes, where's her bestie? They're all gonna make sure she is comfortable as heck. So as for Yao Yao, she 100% is in the medical field. Yes, she's gonna be in charge when Baiju isn't around. Or wait, is she? I don't know. There's some other characters we'll get to, but she's gonna be that little child. Like you open the door to the clinic, you're like, is there a doctor here? And she's like, I'm the doctor. And you just look down at a small child. Wait. Honestly, she would provide you with such moral support as well. She's a mix of these two. I might get rid of this tier after, but yeah, she is in charge of the clinic and would also take care of her bestie. Next up, we have the Matra boy, Sino. He definitely gives me cavalry vibes, but I do also see him sacrificing himself for the greater good. Yeah, so maybe one day when they're fighting off zombies, maybe Tiggy was out in the wild gathering stuff on like an expedition, right? And as they're making their way back to the wall, they're being chased by zombies. And Sino is like, my boy, get behind me. And he saves the expedition squad, starts killing the zombies left and right. Similar to Candace, I feel like he'd get bit, but fulfill his duty to the end. Kind of different from Candace, but I feel like he would kill himself. Like after all the zombies are dispatched, Tiggy's looking at him from the background, sees he's like covered in bites, fighting back his infection. And Sino's like, goodbye, bestie, and stabs himself through the stomach. He commits seppuku, except in this case, it's honorable death. And it would be a very tragic moment. Tiggy, even though he's a bit of a tsundere with this man, he's gonna miss those apocalypse jokes. I know I would. Everyone's asking him, hey, are you okay? We know your best friend just died. He's like, I'm fine. I just need a moment alone. And he goes to his room and starts crying. Oh, emotional damage. Wait, that is really sad. But yeah, as for Tiggy, like I said, a resource gatherer. He could also be a doctor, but I think this kind of suits him more, especially in the apocalypse, the foresty environment. He's gonna know what medication to take in the towns. He's gonna know what plants are edible in the wild. Yeah, I think he needs to be part of this team. Following that tragedy, we have Dilu. He is definitely the protector of the shadows. So I don't think he's gonna stay in the settlement. I think he will be a lone survivor, but he's still gonna make sure the settlement is okay. Like he'll set up a hut in the middle of the woods that's not too far from like the central base here, just so he can monitor like zombie activity, so they don't get too close to the walls. I do also think he might have a connection that is a member of the 10, like the Almighty 10 leaders. Who would that be? I'm not sure if it's Jean. I think it would have to be someone he would respect a lot. Yeah, I could kind of see this, yeah. Like I say, it's not only gonna be Archons up here. Nutella is one of those few leaders D-Luke would be down to follow. Yeah, if he was in charge of the Knights of Favonius, bro, D-Luke would endorse the Knights 100%. He'd be like, most capable military in Teyvat. But yeah, Nutella's gonna send like a messenger to D-Luke every now and then, so they exchange information. He also sends him supplies. Yeah, they're gonna have a mutual beneficial relationship. They want to save as many people as they can. As for Nutella's role in the council, I'm sure him and Nahida would have some gigabrain intellectual talks, but it would all be for the prosperity of the civilization. Ooh, and maybe he would know where drinking water is. Yeah, because Beto's squad had to travel so far, but maybe there's a stream nearby, and he uses his dragon daddy abilities to snuff out the stream. I'm kind of just making shit up right now, but yeah. He's smart enough, has enough moral values. He would definitely be one of the 10. Indeed. Next up, we have Diona. I do think she's gonna be a village supply manager. There is always a bar setting in the apocalypse. She's gonna be in charge of that. Honestly, I think she would loosen up into how much she wants to poison alcoholics in the apocalypse, because it makes a lot more sense as to why people drink in this kind of environment. But she will be in charge of the tavern, yeah. And you know who's gonna be hanging out at Chez Diona? It's the boy Venti. So him in an apocalypse, he is a lot smarter than we give him credit for, but I feel like the alcoholism aspect would just increase, considering you're just adding more stress to an already stressed out dude who's been through so much in life. This man deserves so many hugs, guys. But I'm gonna say, he's actually, for the most part, gonna provide moral support. Like, someone playing music in an apocalypse just sounds like such a soothing thing. And Venti's kind of music is just like the harp, the lyre, very soothing instruments, so it's not gonna be too loud to attract the attention of all the walkers. He'd also probably play mostly inside, like as an example, Diona's Tavern, that kind of thing. But I'm sure he'd help out with little tasks if his boy Zhang Dong were to ask. But his main thing is he wanders the settlement, making people happy with his music. Yeah, you guys might see this as a not essential role, but I do think it's really important to keep everyone's spirits high, and he would be good for this. Now, as for Zhang Dong, I do think he's also going to be a leader of the Almighty 10, because the apocalypse is a scenario where I think humanity and the gods are gonna have to come together for their mutual survival. Because just for the heck of it, we're gonna say if a god gets bit, they'll also turn into a walker. They're gonna be a zombie, okay? It needs to be an even playing field. Although there are still exceptions like Skara and Chi-Chi, but yes. So, wait, he would probably be so good in the engineering department in building the wall. Yeah, so initially, he would be helping out Kaveh and Albedo, who are just making the wall by hand, and he's like, observe. And he builds half the wall overnight, and they're like, bro, we spent weeks doing this. How did you do it? And he's like, I'm just a passing consultant. Don't mind me. But yeah, even though he'd help out with that at the beginning, I'm sure every now and then, if there's like a dent in the wall, he could reinforce that real quick. He is kind of a one-man army when it comes to defense. But yeah, he'll be in charge of the defense force of the zombie apocalypse and will also be a leader of the settlement. Next up, we have Dory. I think she'd be pretty amazing, actually, as like a village supply manager, because she's all about that Mora. But the thing is, in the apocalypse, Mora doesn't really have much value, so I think her skills are gonna be more in the trade kind of environment. So maybe at first she's a lone survivor, wandering, struggling to survive. D-Luke sees her in the wild and is like, are you an enemy or a friend? And she's like, I just want to survive. And he takes her to the village. She slowly works her way up and becomes one of the queens of managing supplies. She's probably gonna have her little office in luxury and is gonna be an integral part. I never thought I'd say that about Dory during the apocalypse. You could debatably say she'd just get mauled to death, but her skill set, yeah, I think it would work out. Next up, we have Madame Faruzan, about to teach these youngins how to survive in the apocalypse. Ooh, wait, it'd be cool if there was like a school. Wait, did we mention that? To teach the new kids so they have at least some semblance of a normal life, and she would be like the head teacher of the education system. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna say village supply managers. Okay, so I changed this tier to village institution leaders because all of these characters have something they specialize in and that could help others around them. But yeah, someone with the spunk of Faruzan in the apocalypse would honestly be such a refreshing thing, especially since she's a teacher. Bro, Kali's gonna be so happy. After the Amber tragedy, Faruzan cheers her up a bit. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Next up, we have Ganyu. Wait, okay, let's do the entire Liyue Qixing at once. So Kuxing, Ganyu, and Ningguang. Mama! If we were to pick someone to be part of the leaders, the Council of 10, I'm debating between these two actually, because they're both really good. Yeah, I'm actually gonna put both of them. I think Ningguang and Kuxing are both so used to being in a position of government and leading people. Like, this would be perfect. They're better than certain archons at being in charge of things. I'm not gonna say any names because no offense to those characters. But yeah, I think these two would be mostly the public speakers. I think Neuvillette, Zhangdong, Nahida as well would work mostly from the shadows at governing the village, while these two are like more of the face of the operation. I think Kuxing would also set up like recreational activities to do in the apocalypse just to lighten everyone's mood, improve morale from time to time, because she does love her little events like that. Yeah, and Ningguang, I'm sure, has her personal group of characters that do jobs for her and help her get information that could improve the colony in the future. So yeah, we have our first 5 members and we're about halfway through the tier list. So it kind of works out. And now we have Ganyu, who is the last member. I think she's gonna be the zombie apocalypse secretary. Yes, wait. Every time someone wants to talk to one of the members of the Almighty 10, they have to get through Ganyu. So she asks them a bunch of questions, schedules an appointment. She's like, Madam Ningguang, Hu Tao wants to talk about genocide at 3. Ningguang's like, schedule her for 4. But yeah, she'd be so good at organizing supplies as well. We're gonna leave her as a village institution leader. She'd work directly for the higher ups though. So let's actually move this up a bit because this is a very important tier. Right here is a nice spot, yes. Okay, wait, we need some lookout characters like the guards. So we're gonna say there's 4 of them. There's gonna be 2 standing right by the wall on the outside, and there's gonna be 2 in watchtowers. So for these 4 characters, they have to be diligent because this is such an important role. You can't fall asleep at the watchtower because the zombies might attack the village. I think Kujo Sara would be a really good watch lady. Yeah, she'd watch from the tower. Ooh, wait, Mika as well. Where's Mika? Yeah, because he is a land surveyor. He's gonna know where all the big activity is, which can help everyone on the inside prep for the next day more. Like the expedition squad, the resource gatherers would benefit from this man a lot. Debatably, you can even put him here, but I'm gonna say he's a diligent, guarding the wall kind of boy. And Sarah is always on top of her work. I don't think she really needs to join the cavalry. We got a lot of characters, some powerhouses there. But yeah, these two will be the watchtower characters. As for the one standing by the gate, oh yeah, Noelle. Okay, wait. But doesn't Noelle give like self-sacrificing vibes? So maybe one day, like in the early development of the colony, of the town, the zombies get through the wall and Noelle is standing alone by the front gate. She gets her shield on, is like, "Run, children, get in the house." And they're like, "But what about you, Noelle?" And she's like, "Don't worry," sticks her thumbs up. "I got my trusty armor. I'll be fine." And the children just hear fighting for the next 2 hours outside of the house. And then it goes quiet. They open the door. There's hundreds of dead zombies. Noelle standing in the middle of them, covered in bites. And she's like, "Children, look away. I need to do what must be done." And she offs herself, dude. People in the comments, can we have Noelle, very epic, you will be missed. But yeah, she's the OG sacrifice, the queen. I'm sure her boy Mika, wait, no! I just realized they would have been on the same squad, but now she's dead. Emotional damage. But yeah, this will make Mika stronger. His waifu is dead. But yeah, we need to find like Noelle replacements. We need 2 more guards now. Ooh, okay, Glorinde, yeah. She'd be an amazing guard, bro. Military police vibes. Attack on Titan reference. But even though she can go into the cavalry section and go kill hundreds and thousands of zombies, we still need like a reliable guard by the gate as a last resort, and she's gonna be perfect. She is a powerhouse. We need one more powerhouse though. We have, ooh, yes? Yes, okay, I think Zhao is gonna want to go in the cavalry, but Zhang Dong, being a member of the Almighty 10, is gonna give him this job of guarding the gate with Glorinde. So both of them are just gonna be standing there all day, not saying a word to each other, but the amount of mutual respect they'd have, ooh, the quiet, solitary guards who will perform their duty to the end. Yes, wait, why did I put them here? There's so many tears at this point, guys. And I don't think either of them is dying, so they'll be fine. Next up, we have Mr. Goro. Ooh, he has that military experience that I think would be really good at like scouting out enemies, like getting behind enemy lines, which in this case, the entire world is basically enemy lines. But yeah, I do think he's gonna be part of the resource gathering squad. I just realized literally all these characters, like the scouts, the scavengers, are all archers because you need to keep your distance when gathering stuff in the wild. So this kind of works out. I think Tiggy would kind of take the lead and Goro would be like second in command. Yeah. And honestly, him and Fischl is kind of just a funny dynamic to picture, especially if she's going off on one of her spiels. I feel like Goro would get so awkward. But anyway, yes, zombie apocalypse. They'd all be the scouting regimen, the French. Yeah, and I don't think he'd die. But ooh, wait, Kokomi, let's do her next. I was thinking about her before when I think we talked about Barbara, because she could be a medical specialist, but she's smart enough that I think she could be a leader of the settlement, one of the 10. Because the military tactician general in a zombie apocalypse is kind of a useful thing, yeah. And she's not gonna have to show empathy because her enemy is just the undead. So you're gonna see unhinged Kokomi. The fishy chick is gonna extinguish all, I was gonna say life, but not life, yes. Okay, how about this? We'll leave her here if we can find 3 more doctors for the medical field, because we do need a lot of doctors. So who else is gonna heal people? I think Lisa, although she's not a healer, the caring motherly energy, if there was a role she would play in the apocalypse, I think this is what it would be. She's gonna study up on medical information, maybe get Shinobu and Barbara to teach her the ropes, and after a while, she's gonna become one of the head nurses, patching people up, making sure they're healthy for their expedition, their cavalry days. And yeah, even more people are gonna wanna come to the clinic now. She's gonna give some folks some shock therapy that the masochist brothers will enjoy, yeah. We could actually have Madam Ping as a medical specialist as well. Yeah, because I am still waiting for the day that Streetward Rambler gets playable. And if she does, I do think she'll probably be a healer because she has that passive vibe. She can heal your soul with music. Kind of like Venti, except I feel like she would be more in the literal sense. Like she'd patch you up, sing you a song, tuck you in for bed, everything a doctor needs to be, she would be. And as for the final member of the medical staff, I'm gonna say it's probably Ying-ar. I was kind of debating on Nilu as well, but I feel like she's gonna be more moral support. She's gonna be dancing in like the taverns. I'm sure she'll patch people up from time to time. Like if the kids fall down as they're playing in the city, she's gonna give them a band-aid, disinfect the wound, but she's not gonna work in the clinic, nah. Her and Venti are gonna be like a little group, the dancer and the singer, going to taverns, different places in the wall, brightening up everyone's day. Yeah, okay, this is the duet I never knew I needed, but I love it. Yeah, but as for Ying-ar, she has the similar vibe to Lisa, where she is a mommy, and she works in, I think it's a perfume store, which I guess doesn't really relate to medical stuff. But I feel like if there is a character, honestly, I'm just trying to find someone to fill this spot. I think it's gonna be her, yeah. I'm sure her and Lisa will be learning buddies. They're gonna be the girls in the clinic who all the dudes kind of want to see, yeah. You have the wholesome side of things with Yao Yao, Barbara, and Ping. And then you have the baddie side in Lisa, Ying-ar, and Shinobu. Kind of the perfect balance for the medical field. So yeah, with that said, we are going to keep Kokomi in the Council of 10. Her and Neuvillette can discuss water together. It's going to be very epic. Okay, wait, guys, I kind of want to do all of the Fatui characters at once now. It kind of just hit me, yeah, because Skara we did, but he's technically not Fatui anymore, and no one even remembers, so he is kind of the exception. But as for the rest of them, wait, what if they're wandering together and stumble across the village? Yeah, okay, wait, no, I need to add Arlecchino to this. Beautiful, okay. Ooh, wait, we can do the kids? Ooh, nah, this is a big group. Okay, fuck it, we're gonna do them all together. So, they're gonna be strolling through the wilderness, trying to maybe find a shelter, or in Dottoro's case, maybe someone to exploit. But they're gonna be a wandering group who stumbles across the village and wanna team up with them. But the village, the chiefs up here, all have a wonderful experience with the Fatui. Mind you, I think Zhang Dong would be open to it. He'd be like, hey, what's up, Tartusi, my boy? Come on in. But majority rules, yeah, I don't think they'd let them in. So, Arlecchino is gonna be like, please, at least take my children. Nah, I don't think she'd do that. But like, I kind of just want them to be let in. Yeah, okay. So we're going to say Zhang Dong somehow convinces. Maybe they're not all that bad. Except Dottore. I don't think they're letting him in. Especially with Nahida here. She's going to be like, okay, we can let them in. Except for that one. He's not coming in. He's not coming anywhere near this place. So he's like, fine, I didn't need you plebeians to begin with. But here's the thing. What if he finds out about experiment number 1 and tries to get in. Like, he sneaks in the middle of the night undetected, and there's a whole fight in the walls for custody over Chi-Chi. But the thing is, he's only one man. They have an entire cavalry, so nah, he's gonna be exiled to a place he was never even invited in. So he is gonna be a lone survivor, wandering by himself, dissecting the undead, yes. And as for the rest, I think they will be let in because they all have their uses. Tartusi 100% is joining the cavalry. I'm sure he'd want to fight Shenhe, Dea, Eula, like all these characters on the down low. And after a long day of killing zombies, him and Zhongdong go out for drinks. He thanks him for letting him and the posse into the walls, yes. So as for Arlecchino, the good news is Farina isn't part of the council, but Nutella is. So there's definitely gonna be some tension amongst these two. But here's the thing, and this might be a hot take, Arlecchino definitely seems like the smartest harbinger we've seen so far. Like, excluding Dottore, that man is a mad genius, but he also has no concept of morality. He has no driving force that is good in any way. Arlecchino has some good, like the intentions of what got her to where she is today aren't all that bad. It's just she's willing to use extreme methods. That's what I get from her. So in the apocalypse, yeah, like if someone's coming in the wall and they're bit, some people are gonna be like, no, it's my friend, don't kill them. Arlecchino's like, move bitch, she gonna die today. Even if it was one of her own children. So you know what? Yeah, she's gonna be a member of the council, the Fatui representative. I'm sure not a lot of people would like her that much, but bro, she doesn't give a fuck. She's a bad bitch, okay? But yes, so for Linny and Lynette and Freminet, I think Linny might actually sacrifice themselves. Yeah, so they're all going scouting as like a big team under Arlecchino's like command. She's like, go investigate this town, bring back any supplies you might have, and then we'll go out for supper as a family. But on the job, maybe Freminet gets ambushed. Linny's like sniping all the zombies. He's like, Lynette, take Freminet and fall back. And she's like, but what about you, bro? And he's like, I'm the magic man. You think these zombies can get me? But I think after a while, they will. And he's gonna put on a brave face till the end. Lynette and Freminet are gonna walk back to town, all sad and depressed. They report the news to Father up here, who just shows no emotion whatsoever. But the second they leave the room, she has that moment. She's sitting down and maybe even sheds a tear because she does kind of care about her kids. Like, she's not an emotionalist huss, guys. But yeah, I'm looking forward to more of her. But as for Freminet and Lynette, they're gonna be resource gatherers. That shall be their job. Oh, wait, no. Freminet could also be an engineer and mechanic. Yeah, okay, we're gonna put him here, although he will go with his siblings outside the wall from time to time. Yeah, that was a whole ass plot we had for the Fatui, my god. Now back to simplicity. Kirarada would be an amazing scout resource chick because she is the cat. She's used to traversing everywhere. She can sniff out where those undead pheromones are and know where not to go. Yeah. And she'd be under the direct command of a character I didn't even put up here yet, but is gonna be up here, Yae Miko. She is also gonna be one of the 10 leaders of the Genshin village. And she's gonna have her little informants, her little personal gatherers. She's like, Kirarada, go to this town. I think there's some leftover light novels in there. She's gonna start the entertainment industry during the apocalypse, which is kind of a cool thing, actually. Yeah, they need some of this in their lives. But aside from that, she is a very smart, scheming kind of lady who I don't think would mind the occasional sacrifice. Yeah, honestly, her and Arlecchino, I can weirdly see getting along. That might be a hot take. I think it is. But yeah, the bad bitches of the Almighty 10. And Kirarada, like I said, is gonna just get some stuff for Miko, yeah. Next we got Jean. She is gonna be the Mondstadt representative because Mondstadt has barely any clout up here whatsoever. Now, I don't think she's gonna be as like amazing as some of the more capable members because I feel like she's more prone to stress. Like certain kinds of situations might not bode well with her, but she's a very hard worker. There's a lot of people that look up and respect her. So I think her being part of the 10 is kind of a good thing, yeah. So wait, how many members? Is this everything? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we have 9. One more member of the Almighty 10. Let's pick them now. All right, the votes are in my head. I have 2 candidates and I ended up going with Daddy Ayato, another Inazuma representative. The other choice I had in my head was actually Risley because he is also a really good leader, but we'll get to him right after this. So Ayato, the Kamisato cartel, I think would benefit from partnering up with other people in the apocalypse. Yeah, so he's gonna wanna make sure Ayaka grows up in as healthy of an environment as she could in this kind of world anyway. Have you guys ever seen the anime Gakko Gurashi, where it's basically this chick who sees sunshine and rainbows even though the apocalypse is all around her? I highly recommend you check it out. It's kind of an acid trip, but it's a good acid trip. But yeah, he's gonna try to paint the world as beautifully as he can for his sister, but Ayaka's a smart cookie. She's gonna know what's going on. I think she's gonna want to go on the front lines in the cavalry, and Ayato's gonna be against that. He's like, no, I'm not letting you go and get yourself killed. Toma. Wait, where's Toma? Yeah. He's gonna have Toma escort Ayaka so they can be part of the cavalry together as long as Toma is always looking out for her. But here's the thing. I think Toma, after a while, is gonna lay down his life for Ayaka. Yes. Ayaka's gonna get back to the village. Big bro, Toma's dead. And he's like, see, this is what I told you. Stay inside the wall. So after that day, I think she's gonna be in charge of actually moral support, making people happy. Yeah, I think that's something a cinnamon bun like Ayaka could do. She's gonna join the Venti and Nilu kind of band they have going on. Well, you know what? Yes, it's beautiful. They will provide moral support, but they are the band. And as for Toma, like I mentioned, laying down his life in the service of the clan, a truly honorable way to go. Honestly, I can imagine Ayato, even though he has that calm and collective face, after Ayaka breaks the news, he gets a little emotional. He's like, that was my boy! He was with me from day one! And he's gonna convince everyone here, just like Candace way back when, they're gonna build a statue in Toma's honor because of Ayato's request. Yes. So we have the 10. Let's actually separate them based on nation. So we have Mondstadt. Liyue has 3 representatives. Inazuma has 3 as well, actually, yeah. Sumeru has 1. And Fontaine kind of has 2, even though they're on different sides of the coin. But yes. Next up, we have Kaya, who is right next to Klee. How convenient. Ooh, wait. Okay, I was initially gonna say Kaya might sacrifice himself for Klee, but I don't think Klee is gonna leave the walls because she's gonna be an engineer mechanic with Albedo. Yes, she's gonna make bombs they can use against the zombies. It's the perfect use of her arsonist skills. And honestly, I just feel like Kaya would be so much more comfortable knowing that Klee is in a safe work environment, or at least as safe as it can be. She's with Albedo too, so it would work out, yeah. Her and Frem in the same work environment is... I feel like he'd be so nervous around this child, but anyway. As for Kaya, I think he's gonna be a direct informant under Jean. So he'd kind of be an informant, but mostly like a resource gatherer. Yeah, because gathering information is a form of resource gathering, so it kind of works out. He would stealthily go in advance before the whole expedition team goes out. He's gonna go by himself to make sure everything is safe. Yeah. I can't really picture him getting in danger either, unless he's protecting a child. But in this case, it is not happening, so it's gonna be good. I kind of want more members of the Apocalypse Band. Wait, why does that sound like a metal cover band? It's beautiful. Oh, wait, Yunjin and Jinyon, yeah, the besties being part of the band. You got your guitar, you got another singing lady. I feel like every now and then when Venti just gets tired of singing, he's like, all right, I'm tapping out. Yunjin, take the wheel. She's like, I got you. And the vibe completely changes. It goes from soft English music to some Chinese opera, which might take some getting used to, but once you're there, bro, Chinese opera is a vibe. Like, I'm not even joking. It's not something you listen to when you're at like a club, but it's kind of like some nice alone time music that I think you could appreciate. Yeah, Jinyon and Nilu, I think it's kind of a fun thing to picture as well. Because even though they're both so different, they've both gone their own path, gone against what society told them in life. So they'd be kind of besties as well. Yeah. Okay, Ito's looking a little lonely in the getting mauled to death. So let's add someone to that. Ooh, Mona? I'm not sure. Ooh. Okay, Timaeus, yeah. Getting mauled to death 100%. He is the dude who discovers the apocalypse. So maybe him and Yingar are strolling through the woods. He's like, I think I hear a bear. Quick, get behind me, Yingar. And a zombie jumps out at him, rips his throat out. Yingar's like, oh my, I think I should run away now. And Timaeus is like, my wife, don't leave me. And she's like, I'm not trying to die, bitch. Goodbye. But yes, he'll be one of the first zombies. Next, we got Layla and Mona right next to each other. Ooh, the astrology girls. They could be so helpful if it ever comes to relocating. Like, they're gonna know directions, which way's north, south, east, west. And Mona especially, with her divinations, like being able to see the future to an extent in the apocalypse, dude. That is immensely useful, and she is always trying to do the right thing, although it might be controversial in her methods. Bro, in this case, the world is ending. No one's gonna care as long as they survive. So yeah, maybe she'll teach Layla like her methods and she'll become her successor after she dies. Yeah, but I'm not gonna say she sacrifices herself yet. I don't really see Mona doing that. She doesn't strike me as that kind of chick, even for someone like Fischl. I don't think she's putting her life away, but I'm gonna put them in village institution leaders, or specifically Mona. Yeah, she's gonna teach her ways to all of the young folk in the village, and you're gonna have a bunch of future seers in the future. Mind you, I don't know if she'd want to teach people. That might be a bit of a hot take, but I'm struggling as to where else I could put her because she's not dying. So we're gonna say village institution leaders for both of them. Even Layla, she's gonna help out around the town, which is the closest thing to this tier. So yeah. After Mona gets old and wrinkly though, she will be the leader. Let's just say that. Next up, we have Risley, who's gonna be in charge of Apocalypse Jail. Wait, why do I feel like that might be a thing? Because maybe if someone in the village is stealing resources, Risley is gonna have to pay them a visit, and we're gonna say in a more humanitarian kind of way, because the Fortress of Meripede is basically the equivalent of Weenie Hut Juniors, but just prison edition. So it's gonna be fine. He's gonna send them to the timeout corner, maybe beat their ass a bit. But yeah, he's gonna be in charge of village jail, a village institution leader. Yes. Next up, we have Razor, and since he's not dying from Benny's bad luck, because he is a good man, I'm gonna say he is without a doubt a resource gatherer. He might have to have a bit of supervision to make sure he doesn't stray too far from the path. But when it comes to finding like edible foods, that kind of thing, him and Tiggy, I think, are gonna carry the food aspect, while characters like Fischl, Goro are just gonna be aware of their surroundings more. But yeah, overall, it's a healthy balance of characters, me likey. I can imagine Tiggy being very parental with Razor. Yeah, him and Kale together is kind of funny. At first, she'd be kind of scared of him, but once she warms up to him, yeah, they could be besties. I could kind of see that, yeah. Now we have A. Okay, so she is not gonna be part of the leaders, but she is gonna be the cavalry. Debatably, all by herself. She doesn't really need anyone else. As long as A is in the village, it will never fall. Although I feel like she'll be hibernating most of the time, so she only comes out when it's getting really serious. So characters like Dea and Eula are like, quick, we're being overrun, release the A. And Chongyun's like, what's the A? Zhengcho's like, quick, Chongyun, get behind me, we have to get to safety. A just busts down the wall, starts killing everything in sight. The zombies, not the people. She's still a good person. It's just after her assault is done, Zhang Dong might have to fix the wall quite a bit, but she's gonna save everyone once she is called. Just don't use your A cheat code too often. Although if you're Miko, you could probably bribe her into doing it. So yeah, after the assault, she gets rewarded lots of snacks. It's gonna be a nice time. Her best friend in the apocalypse, 100%, would be Zhang Ling, yeah. Actually, let's do Farina as well, because she is the last Archon. I kind of want her in the zombie apocalypse band. Wait, that's kind of a wholesome approach to things. Because maybe one day, like Farina's kind of wandering the streets, feeling a little useless, not acknowledged, because it's the zombie apocalypse, entertainment isn't in the highest demand right now, and Neuvillette already has his seat, so she's feeling left out. But then she overhears the band playing in a tavern, and she gets inspired. And she's like, can I join? Can I join? And she already has a fellow Archon here. Wait, Venti and Farina is a fun dynamic. And I think they do know each other. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she's gonna be like the poster girl, along with Nilu and Ayaka. They're gonna have like an album cover. And she's gonna be center stage, and Jinyan will teach her how to play an instrument. Yunjin will give her singing lessons. Yes! She's gonna be great. She's gonna find her place in the end of the world. And Neuvillette will look from the sidelines, all happy, at his daughter. Yes! It's a joke. I know she's not his daughter, just, it's cute, okay? Next up, we have Rosaria, who I think is gonna be the closest thing to D-Luke on the entire list. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So what if D-Luke is in the forest near the settlement on the far west, and Rosaria is gonna be the far east? Yeah. So they're both protecting the village while being on their own in the shadows. And I think she'd be completely fine. Yeah, she can hunt. She's been in some tough survivalist conditions before, and this would be her way of protecting everyone. Yeah, she wants to make sure her little bro Razor over here has at least a little more peace of mind. Yeah, she does it for the cinnamon buns of the town. Next up, we have Sayu, who I could definitely see getting mauled to death, but she is a child and she does have some skills. Yeah, So we're gonna say she's incentivized enough to really care about doing her job. Yeah. I mean, then again, I think staying alive is incentive enough, but Miko is gonna pull Sayu's strings. Maybe she gives her like some secret concoction of food that is just seemingly supposed to make her taller, but it never does. So she just keeps doing it over and over again to no avail. But it's fine. She is gonna be the resource gatherer though. She is the stealthy ninja chick. I think she's gonna be similar to characters like Kirarada, who also works for Miko, yeah. She's gonna be up in the trees where the zombies can't get her. And she's like, catch me if you can, dead people. And honestly, maybe she'd take some naps in some trees, but she'd have to tie herself to the tree to make sure she doesn't fall off and, you know, get mauled to death like a certain Arataki Ito. But yes. Then we got Dainsleif, 100%. The lone survivor. He isn't gonna be anywhere near this settlement. Maybe he'll pass by it one day and just smell the Archon pheromones, and he's like, ew, disgusting, I'm going the other way. Maybe he'll run into Dottore at one point. They might have an epic duel in the middle of nowhere, far away from the village. Maybe he'll actually join with Aether as well, because they were boys back in the day. Yeah, I could kind of see that. At least they have each other. They could make up. Maybe he'll find the Abyss Order a little less appalling when it's the end of the world. Now we got Sucrose, the mad scientist in the apocalypse. Why do I feel like she's a Baiju's assistant? I feel like it's the green hairs, the exact same colored eyes. It's just one of them's a daddy, the other has the big puffy anime girl eyes that represent wholesomeness. Except, low-key, there's not as much wholesomeness as you might think. One of you in the comments in the last video mentioned she has a hilichurl in her basement. I don't know if you're screwing with me, but I need to check her dialogue lines now. It's kind of amazing. But we're gonna label her Baiju's assistant. Debatably, you can say Albedo is more qualified because he is the alchemist boy. But I feel like Sucrose just has that dog in her, like that crazy side that Albedo probably also has, but it's fine. They look so similar. Her being the mad scientist just works for me. Next, we have Yanfei, the lawyer. When it's the end of the world, isn't the most useful occupation because the law is kind of taken out back and shot. That shit don't belong here. But she's also a really smart cookie who I think would be really good at just maintaining structure in the village. Yeah, so if people are fighting, she would intervene, try to keep the peace, even without the law, because she is a good Samaritan, yes. And Ganyu is here, so we got some Adepti representation. Ooh! Wait, isn't her passive talent like finding where Liyue's specialties are? But no, okay, that was a side note, but we're gonna leave her there, yeah. Next we got Yelan. She is the right-hand woman of Ningguang. My issue with this is I'm wondering if she's gonna still follow Ning, if it's the end of the world and money isn't on the table anymore. It's just survival. So I can kind of see her going on her own. Yeah, I think that's the more likely approach. She does care about other people and the right thing, so I'm sure she'll pass by like random groups when she's out on her own and kind of just give them a helping hand. But the second anyone gets too attached to her, she is chucking them away. She's running away in the middle of the night when nobody's looking. And yeah, she is your typical one-night stand kind of girl. The best one-night stand of your life. Now we're down to the last three, and I think all three of these characters are in like my top 10, besides for maybe Navia. She's like top 20. But Yoimiya, my wife, I think is actually gonna be a bit of a tinkerer. Yeah, wait, her and Klee making things in the apocalypse, like weapons of mass destruction together, being sisters, it's kind of perfect. The sad thing is, fireworks in the apocalypse are a big no-no. Those aren't gonna work, but maybe she can convert the fireworks to weapons. So there's a gun that just shoots fireworks at light speed into the zombie's face. Because yeah, we've seen her dabble with equipment before. Klee as well, bro. When she had her little Sumeru desert event with the water people, she made that train in the span of like 5 seconds. So she is a tinkerer god, the two of them are. So yeah, they're gonna have a good time in the engineering department. She could also go in the band, but that's kind of full, so we're gonna leave her there. Yeah. Next we got my girl Charlotte. She is gonna be the spreader of information in Apocalypse Town. So every now and then, when the leaders need to get word out, maybe Neuvillette goes to Charlotte, he tells her to write a paper and leave it on everyone's doorstep in the entire village. Yeah, she's gonna be in charge of the Steambird of the apocalypse, because all the other Steambird employees are probably dead, so she is gonna be their representative. Information and news is actually so important when it's the end of the world. Low-key, yeah. And finally, we have Navia, who I am putting in the cavalry. I feel like she's gonna have such a big bastion of followers, like Malus, Silver, 50 other dudes like that. She basically has an army that will follow her every command. So when Eula and Dea are like getting ready for combat, they just see Navia pass by them and they're like, hey, are you the new chick? She's like, that's right. Hello, friends. I brought my squad. And you just have 50 grown-ass men behind her. Mind you, I'm sure some of them would die. She would be very emotional about it. She needs some consoling from her 2 new best friends here. But yeah, Silver and Malus will be fine though. Those two, they're never dying. They're the Giga Chads. Alright guys, that was the Zombie Apocalypse tier list. Version 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to let me know which positions you would change and we can discuss in the comments below. But with that in mind, it is Halloween night. Have fun trick-or-treating, drink responsibly, sesh up responsibly, and have a good night. Peace out, y'all.